Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on this really pretty little wrap bracelet, and I'm using the beads and materials from Eureka Crystal Beads' new collection in collaboration with me, Bronzepony, called Seaside Dreams. So if you have the collection, you can make this bracelet. Now I have several on that I made. You'll be able to make either a single or a double depending on your wrist size, but here I have a single right here, and I've added some of the charms from the collection. Then I have a double here, and then using the little fishy charm, and I used the starfish charm, and then here I used those little moon phases charms on this one. So lots of fun. I think we're going to have a blast making this. So I'm going to clear everything off and get a materials list going, and we'll get started. Let's get a materials list going. So everything I'm using here is from the Seaside Dreams collection, and I will list that down below, and I'll list all the beads as well, the sizes, shapes, colors, you name everything. So the instructional video is going to be this configuration, but I will, at the end of it, after I finish that bracelet, I'm going to add this one on. So we'll do the sequence on this one as well. So if you want to do this one, just keep watching the video. So you're going to need some leather cord. I'm using 1.5 millimeter round leather cord in natural. Now in the collection you get 3 feet, and that 3 feet will get you either 1 wrap or 2 depending on your wrist size. So I'm just going to give you a quick measurement on how I measured. So I just took a measuring tape, I put it around my wrist, and I put it around loosely, so you see I'm below the knuckle bone, the wrist bone, and here, do you see how much space I have in there? I come to about 7 inches. So you're going to double that. So that's going to be 14 inches. And this is for a single. So that's going to be 14 inches. Plus you want to add about 8 to 10 inches for your knots and spacing. So you'll end up with cutting a 22 to 24 inch piece for a single. Now, if you're doing a double, you're going to do, and you have a 7 inch, measurement. You're going to double that. Okay, that's going to be 14, just like we did with the single. And then you want to double that again. So it's going to be 28 inches because you're going around again. And then you want to add the 8 inches on. So that'll give you 36 inches. So you can use, you'll have enough to use if you have just the 3 feet of cord. If you have just unlimited cord, you can make 6 wraps if you like. So that's how I did the measurement. So if you have an 8 inch wrist, you're going to measure, you'll calculate that. So I think an 8 inch, anything above the 7, you're probably just doing one, you're going to do 1 wrap. All right, so let's move on. We need a 6 millimeter pearl, 2 by 3 millimeter rondelle, 3 by 4 millimeter rondelle, 11/0 seed bead in a metallic, so I'm using the gold. I have one in teal. I have a little button, tiara cast button, and these cutest little moon phases charms, which we'll put on. Size 10, I put 11 up, but you can use a 10. And I'm using green wildfire. I like wildfire for this project. You can use the gray also. I think the black is probably too intense. All right, so I think that's everything. So check the description box below the video for all sizes, shapes, amounts, colors. All the materials for this guy will be there as well. Links to bead websites, to the collection, any coupon codes I might have. So always check that description box below the video for any information, something I might forget. Okay, so let's clear this off and get started. So thread your needle with about, I'd say 5 feet of thread, and just put that aside. So here I have my button, and here is my cord. So I'm just going to slip my button on my cord. Like that. I'm going to center it. So I'm pulling my cord down. I'm holding the 2 ends here, making sure it's centered, like so. And then I'm just going to tie a knot here, just overhand knot, and I'm going to push it way up against the button, where the little shank is there. Okay, tighten it. Okay. And this is what I have. So here's my button, here's my knot, here are my 2 cords that the beads are going to go in between. So I'm going to call this cord to the top and this the bottom. So I've taken my thread, so here's the needle end, I've taken the tail end, and I tied it to the bottom cord very close to this to the knot I put here. So I did a couple of overhand knots, and here's the tail. I left about an 8-inch tail. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep that tail aside, and what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it around, and we'll do that later. So here's what I have. My knot is right here at the bottom. So I'm going to pick up one of my 3mm rondelles, and I'm going to come in through the back. So do you see how I'm just placing my needle behind everything here? So right there, see? Hold it with my thumb. So the needle's behind the cord and the bead is popping through. I'm just going to hold it with my thumb. I'm going to pull my thread through, like that. Then I'm going to come over the top, through the top of the cord, through the bead, like this. And that puts my first bead on. Maybe I can see if I can pull in a teeny bit more. Okay. So there you go. You've got your first bead on. Now I'm going to take two of my 2x3mm rondelles. So that first bead doesn't count as part of the pattern repeat. So we're going to repeat this pattern over and over again. But this is where the pattern repeat starts. So I'm going to put in two of my 2x3mm rondelles behind. See, I'm holding it behind. The needle is behind my cords, and the beads are popping through. Hold it with your thumb. Come through. And then you want to come down the front. Like that. And what I do is I kind of pull them over with my thumb, straighten it out a little bit. That's what it looks like. We're going to add two more. And the geese are saying hello. Behind, you're just going to pop your needle behind your cord with the beads popping through from the back. Pull the thread through. And then come down the front. Like that. Okay, next up we're going to put on a 11/0, the 3x4mm rondelle, and an 11/0. I'm going to go through the back, just pop them through. Like that. And then sew down the front. What I have. Let's move on. I'm going to pick up two of my turquoise rondelles, so the smaller one. Popping them through from the back. Pull your thread through. And then sew down the front. That. Pick up two rondelles, place those on, so from the back, pull through, and then down the front. This is what I have so far. So that's like the first half of the pattern repeat, not counting that one bead. So these stacks of rondelles. Okay, so get that done and come back and we'll do the second half of the repeat. Okay, next up I have 4 11/0 seed beads in the metallic. Placing them on. your thumb over it, pull through. And then come down the front. Then we're going to pick up an 11-0, 2 of my teal colored 11-0s, and another gold 11-0. So gold, 2 teal, and a gold. Pop those through. So down the front. And then 4 gold 11-0s. Those on. Put your thumb on it. So down the front. Just like that. Pick up a 6mm pearl. Put that one on, so from the back, so down the front. And we have our pearl on. Now I'm just going to repeat this little section right here from the 11-0s over. So 4 11-0s. So those are the metallics. Then a gold, 2 greens, and a gold. That's what we have so far. And then 4 gold. And down the front. And this is what it looks like so far. All right, so this is the pattern repeat from not counting the 1 bead, so counting these 4, these 2 stacks here, this one, so this group here, and then this group here. Then the next group is going to be this entire group, and then after this one you're going to put this one on again. So it's just going to keep repeating over and over again until you get to the end, or until, so what I'll do here is I'll just keep beading, and then you're going to want to, you'll probably, if you're doing the double, even if you're doing the single, you might need to add thread. So I'm going to come back when I need to add thread, and I'll just give you a little, instruction on how to, end off the old thread and add a new thread. Okay, so I've done a bit of my bracelet, and I am just about to run out of thread. So I want to add a new thread, and I want to sew the old thread in, just secure it. So I'm just going to take my needle and thread, that I'm working with, and I'm actually going to add, I'm going to end it off here, and then we'll add a new thread. So it doesn't really matter where you need to add your thread, you're just going to do the same thing I'm doing here. So I'm just going to take, so I have these beads on, my thread is coming over the top. I'm going to go back up through the bottom like this. So you see I just went through the back, up this way through the back, like that. And then you want to go down. Let's see, I'll just turn it this way. I'm doing it on the back now. The previous group of beads, like that. It will leave a little thread across the top, but you're not going to see it. And then up, I'm going to go up one of these 2. and then I'm going to tie a little half hitch knot right here. And then I'm going to sew through the top bead and just clip off my thread. And what that did is it just secured that line of beads down, and now I'm going to add another thread. Next up, I've tied a thread onto my bottom piece of leather cord again, just like we did in the beginning, only I just left enough of a tail to sew in. And that tail you're just going to sew up through the beads like we did with the previous thread that we sewed in. And all you're going to do at this point is add your next row of beads. So for me, that's going to be the 4 gold beads, like that. And then down the front. Like that. And then I'm just going to continue on with my bracelet. Now, one other note. If you want, I'm going to try putting these charms on. They're the Moon Phases charms. Oops. And I'm going to put them all on in a row. So if you want to do that, with me, I'm going to show you where I'm going to put them. So I want to put them so that, oops, they're going to, when I close my bracelet, they're going to end up on this bottom part here. And I mean, as close to the middle as possible, but it's, it's not going to always stay in the middle because your bracelet's going to move around a lot, right? So, so you're just going to find a place where it'll look good. And if you're real stickler about that stuff, maybe don't put them on. But what I did is I counted my pearls. So I have 9 pearls. So between pearl 7 and 8 this is where I'm going to add my charms along this span between pearl 7 and 8. Here's pearl 9. And when I put my bracelet on, that's going to kind of make them sit somewhere on top there, and they'll be all in a row. You can add them at the, on your clasp. You don't have to add them at all. You can add this little guy, the little starfish charm on the somewhere on the bracelet if you like, whatever you like. But I'm going to put those on and see how it looks, and you'll see if you like it. All right, so I'll meet you at that note about putting on the other charms or putting the charms on, the Moon Phases, on a single bracelet. So the other charms are very easy to put on because you are just going to add a jump ring, and then you can just open the jump ring and put it around the leather cord any place. I just think that's so cute. So here's the other one. So really you can put it anywhere you like. The Moon Phases, because they are, you can't open them. You've got to incorporate them in the bracelet. So if I was going to put the Moon Phases on, on my single bracelet, you're just going to find a place to put them, like over the top, as you're going along, and make sure it's sort of coming out, actually wherever you want it. All right, so let's continue. Charms. So it looks like it would be easy just to slide them on, but it really isn't, because if you just slide them on and keep beading, then they're going to get hooked up in the thread, because the thread is constantly going around and around. So I want to make sure they're in between where the 2 threads are, which means I'm going to sort of end off this end each time until I get all my charms on. I know that sounds confusing, but I'll show you. You'll get it. All right, so here, this is where I am. I'm going to add one of my charms. So I'm starting with the little crescent moon. And I'm going to do them very close together, but you can change that if you like. So I'm just going to leave it over here for the moment. And so here, there's my thread. I'm going to just sew right back through the beads like this. Oops, like through the beads and out the back. So I've come around, right? Sewing back up through the beads without anything on my needle and through the back. Like that. Now I'm going to slip my charm over like that. And I'm going to add my next row on. Just straighten that out a little bit. And that's going to be a gold, 2 greens, and a gold. And what I'm going to do is, this is just while we're putting the charms on. I'm going to drop them down, and I'm going to have them come over the front like that. Okay, and then I'm going to sew right back up through the back. And out the back. So I went over the front and then out the back. And of course, you want to make sure that it's nice and straight. And now I have that one charm on. Now I'm going to slip another charm on. So I'm going to put on my, I think we've got our half moon. It's going to go right there. And you see, this way it's not attached to any thread. So here we'll do this again. We're going to pick up our 4 gold ones. And I'm coming over the top, right? So I'm just going to drop those down. Over the top. Like that. And then I'm going to sew up through the back. And out the back here. So around the front. Up through the beads. And out the back. And now I have 2 of my charms on. And that's what you're going to do in between each charm. And then we'll go back to our regular beading. So just get the rest of your charms on and then meet me back here and we'll continue beading. Okay, I have all 4 charms on. And here's my last set of beads after the charm, and I've put them on. Remember, we came down around the back. Now I'm just going to go back over these beads like this through the front. And now you're set up to add more beads. So my next round of beads will be my 4 11-ohs. I'm just going back to the way we were working before, the original way. Put those on. And through. And then my next one is 1 gold, 2 of the green, and 1 gold. Put those on, and so on. So we're just going to continue on with the rest of our beads. So I think that looks kind of pretty, and they're dangling nicely. So I'm coming, well, I have a little to go, but as you come to the end, you want to make sure that you have at least, let's see, how much is that? I don't want you to run out. Make sure you have at least 3 inches, maybe, yeah, at about 3 inches. So you can knot right there, maybe even a little bit more. So you may not come out perfectly like you did here, so it may be different at the end. You may not get it all done, but you always want to put 1 bead at the end there. So wherever you end, you want to make sure you can, you end with these 3, on the bottom. So I'm just going to keep going until I get to about 3 inches before the end, and then I'll come back and we'll end it off together. Okay, coming down to the end, and I'm so close, but I think I'm going to fit the whole thing. But if I need a little more space, I would just end it right here. So I have this much space, maybe not put the last pearl on. You can really kind of, play with it a little bit, but I think I'm going to make it. So I'm going to keep going. All right, so let me pull in. I'm going to just add my 1 bead, because that's all I need now, right? That's my end. And I'm going to come through like that, and then back up again, to tie that off. So that is just the end of my bracelet now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this thread around right here, but I'm going to wait until I knot it first. So I think I'm going to do a knot. So that's ended at the moment. Now I'm going to make one knot, and I'm going to make it very close to the end of my beading, like that. And then you're going to get another knot in there at the end, and I actually don't have a bit to spare here, so maybe I should have ended sooner, but you know, I wanted to try it. And you want to get this one about right there so you have enough room for the button, but you want the button to be somewhat tight. So here we go. I'm just going to pull that. Actually, I probably made it a little big. So there, so that's where I'm going to put my button. And then, that's my loop for my button. I'm just going to wrap this guy around like this. You don't even really have to do this, but I'm just going to wrap. When I think I have enough wraps, I'm just going to turn it on the back and go through, just dig my way through there, through where I wrapped, put a little half hitch knot there. You can do a couple of half hitch knots there if you like. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this side. So remember, in the beginning we left that tail. I'm going to wrap that around. I'm going to put a knot in. So get that done and come back and we'll continue. We'll finish up. Okay, we're back and we're done. And how cute is that? I love the little moon phases on there. Aren't they adorable? So cute. So here it is. Came out good. Nice size. You know, I was close at the end, but I made it. So here we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you make this and post it on Facebook. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Okay, I'm going to show you the sequence for the Tila bracelet. So you want to have your button on, your knot made, and your thread attached, ready to go. So you're going to go back, you know, to the beginning of the video, and you can check that out if you need to do it again. So what I did is I took my Tila mix and I separated all the beads by color. Now this original bracelet was not, this was a Tila mix that I had purchased a while ago. And if you notice, I have a lot of this tortoise color full Tila, so I used that one. So you want to use the one you have the most of. So here, the most I have in my current Tila mix is this sort of cream color one, which is beautiful. So you need 9 of them to make this size bracelet. If you don't have 9 and you have, do a mix. So do every other one or every few, or 2 half Tilas, or play with them. You know, play with the colors together. I'm just going to show you this, and then you can just, you know, use your colors and amounts according to, you know, what you have in your Tila mix. All right, so we're going to get started. Okay, so I'm ready to go. Everything is set. My thread is on and such. So I'm going to start with my rondelle. I'll pop that in. So the 3x2 millimeter rondelle is going to be my first bead, just like it was in the original bracelet. Yeah, the one I did before. So I'll pop that one on. And then I'm going to pick up 2 of the rondelles. Put those on. Down the front. Like that. 2 more rondelles. So now I'm going to go to my 11 seed beads, picking up 4. I pop those on. Like so. And then I'm going to pull out those pretty peach colored beads, and I'm going to pick up a gold, 2 peach, and a gold. So this is very soft right here. Put those on. So again, popping through the back. coming around. Like so. And then 4 of my gold 11-ohs. Like that. And this is what I have so far. So get that done and come back and we'll start with the Tila. Okay, let's add a Tila. So I'm just going to pick it up just like we've been doing. I'm going to pop it in just through the back, just like before. Through the front. Through the back. So going, wrapping around the bottom, coming through the back, and then over the top and through the front. Just straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now you have your first Tila on. Then we're going to pick up 4 of the 11-ohs. Like so. I pop those on. Through the back, down the front. Pick up an 11-oh, 2 of my peach, and an 11-oh. Put those in. Down you go. And you're now looking at this. I think because my Tilas are that cream color, I might have used a blue, the teal color 11-oh in here just for a little more contrast. But, that's certainly up to you. So 4 11-ohs. Like so. Okay, and this is what we have so far. It looks okay. I think it looks pretty with the peach. It's just going to be very soft. All right, so get that done, and then we'll work on the next part of the repeat. Okay, let's continue. So now I'm picking up a 1/4 Tila, a 1/2, and a 1/4. I'm just going to pop those in, just like before, from the back. Up you go. Down the front. Back up, like so, and down the front. And now you're ready to put some more beads on. Yeah, let's continue. So we're going to add on a couple of the rondelles. And 2 more. That. And then we're going for the 1/4, 1/2, 1/4. Those on. This is what we have. Okay, so this is the pattern repeat here. So we're going to start, we're going to leave this group of beads here, and I'm just going to make it easy, we're just going to do this as our pattern repeat. So starting here, so this is your first group of beads, and then here to here is your pattern repeat. So you're going to from here you're going to repeat this group here, and then so on until you come to the end, and then you'll add these guys on at the end. All right, so that's your sequence for the Tila bracelet. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you have fun making this one too, and post this one on Facebook as well. All right, so thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.